and I wanted to give a few sort of takeaways for those people that might be thinking about wanting to do public talks, are probably sitting at home going, fuck, like I'd like to do that, but I'm too scared. I don't know how to start, those sorts of things. So I've put together a couple of things, Bergs, about some sort of 8 or 9 key tips that I've learned along the way to start being a public speaker. Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Berg Show, your favorite MBA and high school dropout, talking everything crypto, business, and personal growth. Today, we're getting into our personal growth update, a little life update we're going to try doing weekly. Today, we're talking about where I'm up to in my Tinder game, how I'm now doing public speaking when talked to me 6 months ago when got in front of a camera, what the hell we're doing over Christmas and how you can reset. Plus, has Bergs dunked a basketball yet? We're going to find out right now. Bergs, how are you, man?
I'm doing really well, man. How you going?
I'm good. I'm enjoying these new formats of the episodes. I like it. A little bit sharper, a little bit sort of more concise. Hopefully the listeners are liking it.
I'm enjoying it, man. It's a lot. I'm just excited. It's like we do these short things and we move on to the next one, and it's nice. It's contained. It just seems easier. It's like mentally easier.
And I think everyone listening at home knows exactly what they're going to get out of it. And this episode that we're going to try to do weekly is more of an insight on where we're up to in our lives, a bit of like a behind the scenes look, what we're trying to work on, what we're trying to improve, what's not working well. But I tell you what, Bergs, one thing that is working well is my Tinder game. It is.
Oh, look out.
So
look out. Fill us in, mate. Tell us like how you set it up, mate.
So for those that didn't listen to last episode, I hired a Tinder expert to do my profile and some photos, outsource that shit, $200, to see what the experts know. And that expert was someone who used to work at Tinder or Bumble or wherever. And mate, got the photos up. And yeah, man, we had like 25, 30 matches in the first couple of days. Now, to be fair, nothing against Tasmanian people, but, you know, not all of them were that, you know, compatible.
How many were you related to, mate?
Is that a political way to put it? Was it compatible with a lot of them? But yeah, man, it paid off. So I just hate, like, honestly, I hate putting in the effort though, like having to, like, you know, swipe and message, and it's just not my thing. I just can't be fucked. So I've sort of dialed it back a little bit the last few days. But yeah, man, outsourcing to the experts.
So it's been working. You've actually been getting more matches than you would have previously.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Mate,
yeah.
How much do you reckon it's improved? Would you be able to put a percentage on it? Something like
at least
10% better, 20% better?
Oh, at least double, I reckon.
Wow.
The amount of like matches, and messages. Like even having a lot more messages of like inbound. You know, usually the game is you've got to have to reach out to the lady, but you know, I had a few people like, you know, a few more people like messaging me. I was like, oh fuck, okay. So,
and this is in Tassie, mate.
I know, mate. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll have to wait until we see a bigger data size when we go to like, you know, a place with actually more than a few women. But we'll
so this is really good. There are so many lessons in this. So last week we talked about outsourcing and thinking that you're an expert in everything. So Ben, you paid like what, a couple of $100 for this, sent it away to someone, and the level of detail you got back on how to do this. And if you apply this just to your non-Tinder life, this would be the equivalent of sending away your CV, your resume, and getting back a really high quality thing to communicate who you are and put your best foot forward for an employer. The context of this is putting your best foot forward to have a date.
Yeah.
And outsourcing and delegating is one of the best things. And it's funny because delegating and outsourcing, you suck with in a lot of areas where within the business, like you need to delegate a lot more. Outsourcing you're okay with skill sets where you're like, nah, this just needs to be outsourced because I can't do it.
So true.
But it's amazing that you're starting to do it and now you're applying it to your personal life. And I hope that flows over to your work life as well, because that would be amazing.
Well, I'm trying better with my communication in work. We have noticed. I think you've noticed that. I'm trying.
I was really impressed because your communication, how can I put this? It's suboptimal.
Suboptimal.
So
and non-compatible. What a political episode.
Yeah, mate. Like it's pretty average.
Shit.
Like I'll get random messages, no context, screenshots. I'm like, Ben, what are you talking about? What's the context? How urgent is this? Why have you done this? It just drives me spam. Then I get a response for half an hour and I think, what is this urgent? Has something blown up? Like, what is going on? But I saw that you were trying in Slack. Like, you actually responded to people and you said, hey, I've seen this. Thanks so much for your thoughts. Like, closed loop communication. I was like, this boy's taking on a few lessons. I appreciate it. I like it. That's all I want. I just want people to try a little bit, take some things on. No one's going to be perfect. It's just constantly trying a little bit more. And I was very impressed to see that, mate. So thank you for putting in the effort.
No worries, man. Another area I've been putting in a lot of effort over the last few weeks, as we know, my accountability, for those that don't know, is trying to ramp up my content game. And one of those areas of delivering a message is public speaking, doing public talks in front of a live audience. And it's been something that I've traditionally been really scared of doing, and still am scared of doing, to be honest. But yesterday I had my first non-crypto public keynote. Berg's at a graduation assembly here in Tasmania. It was about 800 students, including their parents and teachers. It was pretty big. Like, it was packed, and they were live streaming it to the rest of the school. So there might have been like 600 people live in the audience, plus they were live streaming it to everyone else in the school that was in the gym. And I was there like guest speaker. I walked in. They had like the chair. They had like guest speaker laminate on the back. They had like this handwritten note and like a pen they gave me. It was really nice. It wasn't a paid thing. It was just an old teacher of mine actually reached out, asked if I wanted to do it. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I love educating and I love helping students, up and coming people, like, get the motivation to try new things, be curious, try entrepreneurship, just have a dream, get after it, sort of thing. I sort of love that sort of stuff. So anyway, long story short, had the talk yesterday, and I wanted to give a few sort of takeaways for those people that might be thinking about wanting to do public talks, are probably sitting at home going, fuck, like, I'd like to do that, but I'm too scared, I don't know how to start, those sorts of things. So I've put together a couple of things, Bergs, about some sort of 8 or 9 key tips that I've learned along the way to start being a public speaker. Number 1 is start doing YouTube videos. So this is how I first started. I hadn't done any content before. I hadn't got in front of the camera. I was too scared. Get in front of get in front of a camera and start doing YouTube videos. The reality is no one gives a shit. No one's watching anyway. So just get in there and get in front and start doing YouTube videos. You'll start to learn how to talk. Number 2 is do a public speaking course. So I flew to the US early this year to do a 3-day intensive course on speaking and put together my talk. That helped me massively. Number 3, take every opportunity you can get, whether it's free, paid, small audience, large audience, it doesn't matter. Just get out there, give it a crack. I started learning to do talking when I used to be a basketball referee coach. I used to train basketball referees. I used to get up on and do like workshops and stuff when I was younger. Number 4, before you go up on stage, is breathe. Know that being uncomfortable is a good thing. Know you are growing, even though you probably feel sick in the stomach. That's a good thing. You are leveling up. Number 5, record everything. Record all your talks, watch them back, learn, and iterate. I record all of my talks so I can go back and watch it and see where I can improve. And I also send it to my speaking coach, which is number 6. So I have a speaking coach. She reviews all of my talks. She helps me out. She gives me tips about stage presence, how I can improve my scripts, etc., etc. So getting a professional to help is always massive. Number 7, talk about something you have deep knowledge about. Because I know a fair bit about crypto, it makes it easy for me to go up and riff. If I get stuck and I want to, sort of get lost, I can come back to something I already know. If you're talking about stuff you don't really know, or it's new to you, that can be hard. And that was for me yesterday. It was more of a motivational speech. Like, I've never done that before, so it was a lot harder for me to go up and riff on that. Number 8 is to create a speaking reel. So if you're new to events, showcase all of those recordings, get an editor to put it all together. I've got a YouTube video with all of my reels, with all of my speaking spots. So like, sending it to new events, they can see that you know what you're doing and you've done events before. Number 9, just get after it. If you have a message you want to give to the world, speaking and public speaking is a great channel to do so. So just get out for it. Like, just get after it. Try, just do it, push, and you'll level up. It's a constant game of leveling up. And that's my 9 tips for becoming a public speaker, Bergs.
Mate, that's amazing. As you were running through that, I was thinking about my own public speaking experience, and I was doing some heavy stuff, and I was basically an IT nerd. And you got an IT nerd. This is probably a decade ago, something like that. And you're putting me in front of this massive audience. I'm talking about this new technology. I'm very nervous. I got the nervous poops before the bloody thing. It's like your stomach's turning, like, oh shit. And when you talk in front of a big audience, I remember, I think when I was very early on, about 700 people, and this was at a conference, and just that amount of people looking at you. or you tell a joke and they laugh and the voices just boom at you like, holy shit. Yeah. It is crazy. But you're so spot on where talk about knowledge areas, things that you've experienced where you could just riff off the top of your dome if you get stuck. That was a key thing. I always used to look at my boss and she would just walk up and she would just tell stories and it was phenomenal. And really, I was like nerdy. I had a PowerPoint and I was going through certain things and I was guiding people down a path and it was very structured. But really, I was trying to put too much information into people's heads. You need to just cut that away. Like presentations suffer from too much info. Have one central idea, tell stories around it, and people will never remember what you said. They'll remember how you made them feel. Like, did they feel comfortable? And maybe they'll remember that thing. And you're spot on. You just need to get out there, take every opportunity. You're going to feel nervous. You're going to suck until you don't. And for me, that took years to get to that point. Probably doing a couple of presentations a month. Maybe even more if you include like internal ones. But you eventually reach a point where you're just like, I've done this so many times. I'm talking about a central thing. I know how to do this. And your head just builds these kind of capabilities and mental models and sentences to say and how to engage with people. And you start to know what people like. And I really like that you've gone for, professional speaking courses, but then having active feedback. So recording it and then giving it to a coach, and the coach can say, you're doing this, this, and this, and you can look at it and then you can go, oh, I'm doing that. This is exactly what, T said about this, where when we're doing our MBA, we had a course called Launch, and it was like a free course you could do. And it was about kind of leadership and personal mastery. They put like bands on you and like Holter monitors to measure like your sweat and how much your heart was beating. And they'd like record you when you were in the classroom, when you're giving a presentation, and people would give you feedback and you'd be able to view it and have feedback on yourself. So you'd know when you had verbal tics or you said things people didn't do, or you made like a facial thing. So even though you're saying something awesome, it makes it seem like you don't know what you're talking about or you're in pain. And that's what you're conveying. And I think that would just be, is that one of the most valuable things, like getting that feedback from the coach?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And even just watching, it's very uncomfortable to watch yourself back live. Like, it's very uncomfortable. But it's it's needed.
So I listen back to the pod and I'm like, what do I do? And one thing I still haven't got a hold of is my voice when I go up and certain sentences when I talk like that. I don't think I've done that a lot in this episode because it's just you and I short, sharp. Like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to listen back to these episodes we've broken up and see how I've done. Okay. So this is my new test thing.
Yeah.
And a couple of things when you were talking, this is hilarious. You know who you are? You're Kanye West. Because they got the dropout keeping kids in the school. Yeah. How good is that, mate? How good is that? That's exactly what he did. And I'm going to give you a plug, mate. You are on a speaking website on Saxton Speakers. You can go to this website, Google Saxton and Ben Simpson, Saxton. He's got his little head on there. He's got his talking points. He's like a real professional speaker. You've spoken at some big events. You've spoken at Monash. You've spoken at a lot of conferences. And your talks are actually really good. Like when I saw your one in Perth, I'm just like, oh yeah, Ben's going to get up there. It'll be fine. And he was just like, a switch went off. It's like, bang. He's like professional speaker doing a fucking TED talk. And it was incredible. You were miles ahead of everyone else. You went first. And the level you were at, everyone else was just like right down the bottom. I'm not a speaker. I kind of want to talk about this. Like they're talking to someone at the pub and they haven't rehearsed. You were just miles ahead, and I was blown away going, holy shit. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm with that guy. Yeah, he's awesome. Like it was,
Thanks, man.
It was really impressive, man. And even since then, that was months and months ago, you would have leveled up heaps since then.
Thanks, man. One of the biggest things I took away from my speaking course is it's not about what you say. People don't remember the words you say. They don't remember the tips you give, but they remember how you make them feel. And if you can leave them with a feeling around the topic that you're trying to convey, then you've done your job. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up. They get too data heavy. They get up their PowerPoint. They have like 40 points, all in like Times New Roman text, and you just want to shoot yourself. And no one gives a fuck. You just want to leave them with a feeling to go make an action or do something that you want them to do.
100%. Can we just clarify, for people out there, death by PowerPoint, get out of here, right? No one cares about your fucking PowerPoint. I've heard people say, oh, you only have 6 slides and you cram everything on there. No, you can have 1,000 slides. It does not matter. You need to understand you are the presentation. You are always the presentation. If you've got a big PowerPoint that's white and black up behind you, That's the biggest contrasty thing in the room. That's what humans are going to look towards.
Yeah.
No, make that shit a black background or like a really dull background and have one or two words on there or a diagram.
Yeah.
You are the presentation, and that just helps to explain complex things. Like in the previous thing that I did, I had a Mars model. So I just put the model up there. That's it. It just sits up there and then I explain the model. I don't need to put everything I'm talking about. No, people need to listen to me.
Yeah.
They can play it back. They can take their own notes. You are the presentation. Throw your PowerPoint in the bin. 90% of the time, you don't even need one. It's like a crutch that people lean on in case they forget stuff.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Be good enough where you just have a few central things you talk about. And even in your presentation, you could pause for 10 seconds. That's okay. Gather your thoughts. Just get back to it. No one cares. No one remembers.
Yeah.
Just be comfortable.
100%, mate. Right. That is that ticked off. Now, just quickly, I've bought a...
You got a ring, mate. You've got a ring.
Bought a ring. I put a ring on it.
You're such a tech bro. So Ben thinks he's not a tech bro, okay? He is the quintessential tech bro. He's like, is there an app for that? Can I try this? Can I sleep for 3 minutes, then meditate for 4 minutes and squeeze out a little bit more performance? So what is your latest thing? What have you got, mate?
This is a sleep tracker. So this thing, Bergs, you get the app and it's got sensors on the ring and you sleep with it and it basically tracks your sleep performance. So it will track things like your total sleep, your sleep efficiency, your restfulness, how much REM sleep you get, your deep sleep, the latency and the timing. And then it gives you like, you know, your sleep score, which then relays into your readiness. So
Okay, here we go. Hang on. Look at this. This product is made for someone like Ben. Look at the position, your sleep performance, your score, your readiness. Like, how are you performing as an elite tech bro athlete?
Your sleep efficiency. Like, how good.
Oh my God. These guys have positioned this perfectly. You're like, yeah, I want to get a higher score. Yeah, I want to be elite. How good is my sleep? Not like, did you sleep good? Fix these areas. What is your efficiency, Ben? What is your score? How effective are you at sleep?
It's so good, man. Then you can check the chart. You can see like, you know, your ups and downs of the night, like your sleep volatility, your oxygen saturation. Then you can go into like
volatility. How volatile is your sleep?
Then you can like add tags on the chart so you can sort of like go back and review like what you did before bed, like what you ate. Then you can find out like the common denominators.
Okay. So I want to do two things here. I want to go into what are the actionable insights and then what is the business model for this product. So what insights have you taken away from this so far for you to get better sleep?
Okay, so number one, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I only had 6 hours and 17 minutes sleep. I also used...
Would you have known that without the ring? Would you have known? Or did you sleep? You were in bed for 8 hours, but only 6 of it was sleep?
No, I didn't know that. Like I was restful last night. Like I was on my phone too much before bed. So like, you know, my restfulness was up. I didn't get much. I only had 17% REM sleep. Like I need to get that up. You need to get like... A healthy adult is like 1.5 hours and I got like 1 hour. So I was a bit like drained this morning. So I need to get that shit up. And then I want to get to bed earlier. Like I need more sleep than 6 hours, I'm pretty sure. I already knew that, but this just confirmed it that I'm just not enough.
All right. So what changes are you going to make? Get to bed early? Get off the screens?
Yeah, I need to put the screen away before I go to bed.
And does it give you these kind of tips as well, or you have to get those insights yourself?
No, you have to get that. I mean, you can look and see how you can improve your sleep. But yeah, that's just pretty much for me there. And then you've also got a readiness score. So this shows how ready you are for the day. It guides you to strike a balance between activity and rest. So like based on your insights of your sleep, if you've had a restless night, you're not sleeping well, it'll give you a slower readiness test score, so you know not to like go hard. But I'm like, and it gives you things like body temperature, your recovery index, you know, your resting heart rate, things like that. I'm just fucking optimal, mate. Apart from my sleep, I need to pay attention, but I am up and about, mate. My efficiency is off the charts.
Oh God, self-rated 5 stars. Okay, so they're using the right language. They've definitely got you hooked. I'm keen to see how sticky this is if you use it for multiple months or if you just kind of sort your sleep out and that's it. What is the business model around this? So how much do they charge you up front and is there a subscription attached to it?
Okay, so the Ora Ring, I think, is somewhere around $500, I think, maybe.
Just for the ring itself?
Just for the ring.
Fucking hell.
Let me just.
That's a bit up there, mate.
Yeah, 349 USD.
So, okay, so they're competing with like a smartwatch or a Fitbit or something like that.
Yes, correct. Yeah, or an Apple Watch.
Hang on, you're wearing that during the day. Do you wear it during the day as well?
Yes, it also tracks things like your activity, so how many calories you've burnt, your total burn, your walking equivalent to how many steps you've done, how many times active, your training frequency, training volume. So it's like a Fitbit meets Apple Watch without the time meets sleep tracker.
Does it have any features? Does it vibrate or does it have a screen on it or anything?
No, that's just connected to the mobile app.
That's pretty good then, so it doesn't distract you.
No.
And so you pay your roughly 500 Australian up front, you get the ring. Do you have to pay for the app as well?
No, app's free, but there's a $6 a month membership. You get 1 month complimentary membership. It's a sick model. These guys must be worth shitloads. Cost up front and then the recurring model, and $6, like you're never going to cancel it. You can't use it without the membership, so it's a great model.
That's really interesting, where you have to make the upfront purchase. They positioned it roughly where a Fitbit or something would be, not quite at Apple Watch level, so you're in between. Great. And $6 a month, that's cheaper than any subscription service I have.
That's right. If it was $19 a month or $25, I'd be like, fuck off. Like, I've just paid $600 for like a ring, and now you want me to pay $25. But at $7, I'm like, whatever.
And you've got the sunk cost of already buying the ring.
Correct.
So that $6 seems like nothing.
Correct. It's a great model.
Oof, masterful.
Well played.
Masterful.
Well played, Ora.
Love it.
So I'll keep you posted next week, mate, on the sleep.
Keen to see how you go. All right. So let's catch up on my goals, and then we'll talk how they're tracking and taking time off over Christmas, what we're doing to reset. So my goals of dunking a basketball ring, mate, tough. So after my meal of the week, which we'll see in a second, I decided on the way back, I'm going to stop by a basketball court. I'm going to try and dunk a ring. And mate, fuck. Mate. It was abysmal. So I'm a good couple of inches away from touching the ring. So I have to increase my vertical by about 8 inches.
Hold up. So you tried to dunk a basketball, but you can't even touch the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there. Mate. Can you record this, please?
No, I can't. This is like just jumping up with my hand, trying to touch the ring. It just looks like this fattest guy trying to do something dumb from his youth. It was just ridiculous.
Please record it. Please record it.
I've got it recorded, but I'm not showing anyone. It's fucking ridiculous.
You have to show me that.
It looks so bad. I'm just like, no. Oh my God. It looks like every fail video you've ever seen.
No.
And
like
it's just
an absolute, like, unathletic tech bro that, is trying to like achieve this athletic thing that's got no hope in hell, but has all of the like motivation behind him to make it happen. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So for context, I've only started working out again this week. I've been pretty crook for the last month, and I'm probably at my worst. So this is at my worst. I'm 2 inches away from the ring. So I've got to increase my vertical by about 35 centimeters, something like that. Which I reckon if I...
Only 35, listeners. Only 35 centimeters.
It's essentially doubling it, right? And I'm going to do it. Even if I don't reach it by Feb, I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to achieve this. This is going to happen. I haven't worked on my jump style, anything like that. Flexibility. There's a lot of improvement to do here. We're starting at zero here, and I'm still very hopeful. So this was abysmal. Yeah, I tell you what. If I do actually dunk a ring or get very close to it, I'll release that initial video.
Yes.
Because it is disgusting. It is filthy. It made me ashamed. And I was like, what have you done to your life, you fat prick? So it was disgusting. All right. So that's the update on my goal. I'm still going through it. Crypto J reckons he's going to go for it as well. So he's an absolute legend. We'll see how this goes. Now, last week I said the thing I was going to do for myself was book in a float tank and restore and a massage. So I wasn't able to get a booking, but I've got one coming next week, which is going to be amazing. And the thing I'm going to do for myself this week is, I've wanted to do this for so long, and I believe you've done this, Ben, is in WA, we've got a shipwreck just off the coast in Coogee, and you can go snorkeling there. And it's only about 20 meters off the coast. It's like a sunken ship, and it's just full of fish and amazing stuff. Everyone raves about it. I haven't been to the beach this year. I just want to go and throw myself in the ocean, toddle around and just have a good time. Have you done this one? Did you do it a while ago?
I have done that a little while ago. I got sunburn as all hell, so just be careful. And I'm not a good swimmer, so I was like a drowning jellyfish off the coast of Perth.
Oh, I'm actually a really good swimmer. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, even only 2 years ago, the missus, we went away and she's like, wow, you can actually swim. I'm like, well, yeah. Like, what the fuck?
You're a tech bro,
Yeah.
man. Tech bros can't swim.
Oh, I can swim really well. Obviously, my endurance is poor, but I'm never going to drown. I'm pretty much drown proof. Oh man, I got to tell you a story. Speaking of drown proof, so okay, ages ago, we went up to this place called Lansland. It's like an hour and a half away from Perth, and it was just a trip with the boys. And mate, we were just sinking beers on the way down. This was in my 20s. This is a while ago, and we were getting MC hammered. I would have had 8 beers on the trip up in an hour and a half. So we get to the house, we call the person, and they're not there. We're like, fuck, what do we do? Like, oh, I know, let's go to the beach. So there's 5 of us. We all get in the water, and we just start swimming. And we're like, oh, there's an island over there. Let's fucking go. Let's swim across to the island. So we're pissed as, and we all swim across to the island, right? It's not a good idea. So we swim like 30 meters out. The guy that was driving, he's sober. He just swims back, and he is actually the best swimmer out of all of us. He was champion boy at school for swimming. We start swimming out, and there's boats fucking coming across the channel. We're missing all these boats. We're not in swim gear, wearing shirts and everything, and we're just swimming across. We make it, it's about 800 meters or something like that to this island. What? So we swim out there, get on the island. We're like, yeah, we made it. Get on there. Like, yeah, we're just full of beers. We're just like, oh, this is awesome. Get out there, and we walk up the island, and it's hot, and we are dehydrated. I'm like, man, I am fucked. Do you reckon one of these boats can take us back? We start walking on the island. It's like, do not walk here. Snakes and unexploded bombs. And we're like, holy shit. This is when we got right to the top. Like, so you walk up this and you go up on this cliff thing. We're like, fuck, we're going to fucking die. Like, there's unexploded bombs on the island. Everyone's just looking at us in their boats. And I'm like, oh man, we got to go back. I feel like shit. So literally we're like swimming, man. And like, we're like halfway and I'm like, oh, I'm so fucked. And like, literally there's like, there could be sharks and everything. We don't know where the bottom of this place is. There's boats coming through. The water's choppy. We're swimming against the current. And I'm like, mouth is just like so dry. And like, oh fuck. And I had to tread water for so long, but we made it back. And it was one of the dumbest yet most awesome things I've ever done. Don't swim pissed, anyone. So we weren't going underwater or anything like that. We're always just going on top of the water and so we swam in a group, but don't swim drunk. But my God, what an adventure.
Oh, mate. Unexploded bombs.
So yes, I can swim, and I'm pretty sure I'm drown proof. So there you go.
Right.
So the thing for myself, I'm going to go snorkeling.
Good man. What are we up to?
Mate, meal of the week. Should we get into that?
Get into it.
All right, so we'll do your meal of the week first, and this looks pretty good, man. What have we got here?
So this was a couple of weeks ago. This was out in Sydney when I was before EO, and mate, sat down here, steakhouse, had a 400-gram porterhouse for lunch, surf and turf, so had a couple of banging prawns on top with some mashed potato, little bit of I think it was like I don't even know what sauce it was. I don't usually have sauce with my steak. Banging steak, medium, with an iced coffee, looking over the water down the harbour. Oh my goodness, this was sensational. Sydney does do a banging meal with a great view. So shout out to everyone in Sydney, that's listeners. Sydney, I don't go there often, but when I do, it's fucking nice. So Berg, this was I actually feel like that now looking at it, I'm like, this is probably like a 9.5. I love a good surf and turf, mate.
Mate, that looks incredible. Where was this? Was this on the rocks?
Down
like in Waiko or something?
Down in Pyrmont. Pyrmont. So yeah, it's beautiful, man. Top stuff.
Oh mate, that's amazing. Oh, what sauce was that?
I don't know. I don't usually have sauce with
Béarnaise or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't usually have sauce with my steak, so I didn't have it.
Therefore, amazing.
What do you got for me?
Brilliant. All right. Another laksa, mate.
Oh.
Love it. This was actually yesterday. And so for all the listeners out there, this is what I ate and I had in my stomach before I tried to dunk that basketball ring. This is a huge bowl of seafood laksa, Singaporean seafood laksa. You got the prawns, the chicken, the fish balls, the tofu, and you can see it's so spicy. You got the egg noodles, the rice noodles, and it's just split on the top. It is just incredible. You see the oil on there. Mate, this is like a 9.5 out of 10. It is so good. It just hit the spot. It was delicious. It was huge. And I've got this big thing sloshing around in my stomach, trying to jump like a fat bastard. I've still got a cold. You can hear me coughing and sniffing on the bloody episode. Sorry to everyone. But mate, this was incredible. It was like $10. I will eat this all day, every day. Singaporean hawker food, Malaysian hawker food, amazing. Eat it all day, every day. Delicious. Love it.
Beautiful, man.
Get amongst it, but I recommend don't try and do any physical activity afterwards.
Right.
All right, mate.
You got a meme for us?
Mate, do I have a meme for you? All right, let's go. I got a couple this week. It's never really meme of the week. It's like multiple memes of the week.
Yeah, you take it above and beyond.
So this is Lindsay Lohan, and it's got 4 pictures in a grid of her, and it's like shopping wheels on a cart be like, and she's like normal, and the bottom right wheel, she just looks busted up, man. It is so good. It's like she got a photo of her one of her eyes is half stuck, the other one's half open. She looks like she's had a big night. And mate, every time you go to the shops and you have that bloody trolley and the wheel is just wonky on the bloody right, it's always the right wheel. So good. I love these memes, and I just love the ones of her. There's some seriously bad ones of her where she's really busted up. You're like, whoa, you're having a big night, lass. Honestly. So there you go, Lindsay Lohan. Let's go to the next one. This is you, Ben. My whole day described, and it is Michael from The Office. He's like looking up like, I'm okay. And then he just looks down. He's like, I'm not okay. And it's like every single day. This is working in startups, working in crypto. This is probably just life after COVID, dealing with a bunch of bullshit, being on lockdowns, the whole economy, people losing their jobs. This is just life.
Man,
no one's okay.
I was speaking to a crypto founder the other day. Recently sold his company 5 years ago for 100 mil. Pretty sure he's probably close to a billionaire. And he's like, mate, like 3 days ago, it was all over. Life was over. Business was down and out. Everything was fucked. Like, couldn't get any worse. 3 days later, everything's great. We're going to the moon. Next day, everything's shit again. Like, it doesn't matter where you are in crypto startup land. Life is always literally this meme.
All the emotions always. And we go through the same things. It's like 2 days are fantastic. Then this thing hits. Oh my God, we're done. Oh, actually, we got out of that and this other thing happened. It is crazy. And like what you said a couple episodes ago, it is never as bad as you think.
Yeah.
And for everyone out there, it is okay to not be okay. That is normal. You don't always have to say, I'm okay, I'm fine. Like you and I, we talk to each other and we're like, man, I'm not okay. This thing happened and it really sucks. When we go to EO, that's exactly what we say to each other. Yeah. Like, I had this health scale. This is going in the business, or my partner's doing this.
Yeah.
Mate, next time we need to do an EO episode. That's going to be fantastic.
Love to.
But I digress. Let's get to the next meme. There's a guy drawing things in the sand and it says, my brain recording my good memories, and the ocean's just washing over the sand. And under that, he's got a stonemason carving it into stone so it'll last 1,000,000 years, saying, my brain recording my cringe memories.
So true.
Why does this happen? Why?
True.
Why? And especially late at night, your brain will be like, oh, you're trying to go to sleep? Hey, remember that cringe thing you did during the week?
Remember the time we tried?
Why can't you remember the good things I did? Why can't you remember when I crushed it, when I released something, or I got customers, or fucking I did this amazing speech? No, you don't remember that. You remember the thing where I fucked up, and you make me think about it and think about it and think about it. Fuck you. And I think the reason for that is more like our stupid ancestral brains from back in the day. It's always to look out for, risk. Am I going to die? Is this a lion? Am I going to get attacked? How do I survive? And we are so comfortable and secure that this is now, how do I survive? Oh, you did that bad thing once. So dumb. So dumb. You need to work on cognitive reframing. All right. And last meme of the week.
Oh, fuck, you're 4.
Sarah Connor is back. She's amazing. She's clutching a fence. And this is like a 10 level meme. This is level 10. She's clutching the fence in the scene where she's having a dream and she's looking out over a playground. There's children playing right before Skynet sets off the nukes and the flames just come towards them and they all just get disintegrated. And it says, everyone just living without a care, knowing that one day Jennifer Lawrence will break barriers and become the first female lead in a film. Oh my God. So if you missed it during the week, Jennifer Lawrence did a big shout out to say, I was the first, someone took a chance on me. I was the first strong female lead in an action film. And it's like, hold on a minute. What about Sarah Connor in Terminator 2? What about Uma Thurman in like the Kill Bill series, or Mila Djokovic in, the Resident Evil and all the other stuff that she's done, or Charlize Theron? There's so many strong, and even going back years and years before that into the 60s, like strong female leads in action films. Like, how dare you say that? And then they use Sarah Connor who was a strong female lead, and they used the scene about everyone going on about their life, la-di-da, just before the nukes come. This is like, if you are in the game of memes and pop culture references, you will appreciate the hell out of this. This particular one was definitely my meme of the week.
Great work. Do we have anything else on this episode?
Mate, I think that's it.
We'll wrap it up there. We've got a lot of topics. It's been
hold on.
Yes.
No, we do have one more thing. What are we doing over the Christmas break to reset? You and I are both going to take some leave.
We are.
What have you planned? Because we are exhausted. We are knackered. And I'm sure a lot of you are out there as well. It's been a massive year for everyone, no matter what you do, what industry you're in, what's happening in your personal life. Everyone I talk to is tired.
Yeah, everyone's cooked. I am just doing the normal family stuff. I'm going to try and take a couple of weeks off in January and go camping. And I was going to go to South America, but that's actually been cancelled. I haven't told you that. We've pulled the pin because South America is like a shit show right now.
I've got something else for you to do.
Yeah, so I'm taking some time off. We're both because this year's been absolutely nuts.
I'm still going to make you take that time off, and I've got something else for you to do.
Right.
I want you to go exploring, and I want you to go to a different country. You've talked about living in different countries, and I want you to hit a couple of them and see what they're like for a few weeks. Just experience it. You can still work a little bit if you want, but see what that true digital nomad is like, but take some leave as well. So we'll talk about that. We'll work on it. And for me, I'm taking a couple of weeks off. I am going to just relax and exercise. That's my big thing. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to do just lots of physical activity as much as I can, get a lot of sunshine, cook a lot of food. I can't wait for that. And truly just do basic human things, get together with the family, have a lot of Christmas food, good times, a lot of Christmas cheer. I'm relatively going to stay off the booze as well. And it's more of like restoration for me and just resetting my expectations, my dopamine, getting some good sleeps in. I'm really looking forward to that. Now, the big question for you, Ben, are you going to have mutton bird for Christmas?
Oh, I definitely am. We're going to Smithton. Actually, that might be tomorrow. I've got my family Christmas tomorrow, time of recording. So next week, on next week's episode, I might be able to share my mutton experience.
Take some. So do you actually go out and catch them, or
no?
Like
my pop does. My pop does. So I don't know if we'll have them tomorrow, but yeah, it'll be my meal of the week if we do.
You got to explain the whole process, like how you actually go, you do it, and then how you prepare them and what it actually looks like. This is honestly, I've got two things on my bucket list. One I can't say on the pod because it's too rude. And another one is I might say it next week. I might find an eloquent way to say it. It involves a boat in the ocean. And then and my mates can stand around and they can watch me, so it's not that rude. But and the other one is to have mutton bird. Ever since I saw it on like a documentary on like Tasmania and what they do, I was like, I gotta try that. Like the locals were just cooking it up and just delicious.
You'd love it. So good.
The best mutton I had was when I was in year 2. I went to India and I still remember the mutton curry that I had, like proper mutton where aged sheep, and just falls apart and it was just fatty and it was delicious. And I was like 6 or 7 years old and I still remember that.
Okay, I'll look back. Hopefully I get some tomorrow. Bergs.
All right. Amazing.
Fantastic as always. That's a great wrap on our first week of doing some smaller episodes. Let us know what you think. Tweet at us at BabybackBerg and at Ben Simpson AU on Twitter. Please leave us a review. If you think anyone else would love to hear about any of the crap we just spoke about, please forward on to them. And we will see you again next week. We do have a special episode coming out soon. You may already have listened to it, or it might be coming up with the guys at the Ape and Bird Show. We have a collaboration coming out, so be on the lookout for that. And Bergs, I'll see you next week.
I can't wait for that, man.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. Thanks so much for listening, everyone, and we'll catch you next week.
See you guys.